Aisha Lawal, Hauwa Muta, Falta Lawal, Hajara Isa, Kabu Mala, Maryam Abba, Hannatu Musa, Laraba John, Deborah Nuhu, Saratu Dauda, Aisha Grema, Asabe Ali, Margaret Shetima, Yana Yidu, Hauwa Kwaki, Hauwa Musa, Saraya Musa, Hauwa Joseph, Yana Pogu, Jinkai Yama, Eli Ibrahim, Rifkatu Yakubu, Hannatu Nuhu, Maryamu Abubakar, Hamsatu Abubakar, Deborah Abbas, Roda Haruna, Hauwa Hula, Hauwa Ngiki, Christiana Yusuf, Rakiya Kwamta, Rebecca Kabu, Halima Gambo, Roda John, Hassana Adamu, Ruth Gilarda, Safiya Abdu, Sarah Luka, Aisha Musa, Hauwa Peter, Ruth Bitrus, Hannatu Isyaku, Mary Amos, Victoria Dauda, Saratu Tuji, Mary Dauda, Saratu Iliya, Halima Ali, Bilkisu Abdullahi, Rebecca Joel, Zainab Yaga, Awa Ali, Hannatu Madu, Sarah Samuel, Mary Ngiki, Hauwa Isuwa, Godiya Bitrus, Awa Sasa, Hauwa Balte, Glory Yaga, Mary Paul, Ladi Paul, Ruth Lawal, Laraba Malum, Ruth Wavi, Rahila Yohana, Iliya Abdu, Sarah Samuel, Zara Ishaku, Rejoice Sanki, Deborah Abari, Sikta Abdu, Saraya Ali, Maryam Lawal, Esther John, Ladi Joel, Lydia Emar, Rose Daniel, Hauwa Abdu, Laraba Paul, Esther Ayuba, Mary Dauda, Margaret Watsai, Miriam Jafaru, Kuma Solomon, Agnes Dauda, Mary Dama, Patience Jacob, Tabi Thomas, Hauwa Taylor, Maryamu Yahaya, Saraya Stove, Jummai Aboku, Elizabeth Job, Susanna Yakubu, Mary Sule, Saratu Tauji, Ladi Wadai, Yayi Abana, Kwamta Kabu, Grace Amadu, Saraya Paul, Esther Marcos, Rifkatu Amos, Nguba Bura, Monica Enoch, Sarah Enoch, Rifkatu Galang, Dorcas Yakubu, Deborah Solomon, Salome Poma, and Saraya Amos. That's it. We have the 112 still missing Chibok girls.
Thank you very much. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Chinwe. It's really sad that 7 years after we are still on this. It's not fair. We shouldn't be doing this. All our Chibok girls should have been rescued by now. I remember when we were in May, when we needed to have something written on the wristbands that we have on. We said we didn't have 2 weeks when the printer said they would take 2 weeks to do it. Because we expected by then all our girls would be back. But here we are 7 years. We've listened to parents. We've listened to siblings. We've listened to Chibok Girls ambassadors who were young. You all saw Rohi. Remember a story in 2014? Rohi, then a very little girl, when the bombs were going to say to her father that prayers don't stop bullets. I will never forget that statement. Here we are 7 years after, we are still making demands for children that we should have protected in the first place. Here we are 7 years after, tears are still flowing in the faces of the parents. It's really sad. Every one of us must understand that as long as Chibok girls are in captivity, we all are in captivity. Aliyah Yesufu on the 1,000 days of Chibok girls' abduction. She said, and I quote, "As long as Chibok girls are in captivity, we all are in captivity." This your little girl then also said that Chibok girls have been in captivity for 60 seconds, for every minute, for every second. They have been afraid for their lives. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, now years. Now it's 7 years. Imagine what it is to be afraid for your life every day for 7 years. And that's what Chibok girls have been through. So I say to every one of us today, to remember that when we demand for the rescue of our Chibok girls, we are not doing them a favor. We are only doing that which is right. I want every one of us to remember also that the Bring Back Our Girls movement have always said that the fight for Chibok girls is the fight for the soul of Nigeria. And indeed today we have seen it. The children are being taken away from their schools. Students are being taken away from schools. And the government isn't doing anything. Our silence not only emboldened the criminals to go on and take away more of our students, but our silence also gave the government enabling environment to abdicate their responsibilities. And it is mandatory on every one of us not to make our empathy expensive. Do not wait until your loved one is taken away before you decide to take on the fear and the anger and the sadness that the Chibok parents are going through. Do not have an expensive empathy where you have to experience it, abduction, before you can feel empathy for those whom it has been taken away from. We all must remember something, that in this country we are citizens, we are not slaves, and that no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. The fact that Chibok parents are poor does not mean that the government will not take their case serious. What is the crime of the Chibok girl? Is it because she's Nigerian? Is it because she's a girl? Or is it because they are poor? We don't have done the same thing if they were children of who is who. I repeat again, no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. And so therefore, the machinery of the state must be deployed, and we must add our voices and ensure that the Chibok girls are brought back home. And I would like to remind all of us that yesterday's victims were once survivors. Before 2014, April 2014, we had what happened in Buliyadi. Then Chibok happened. When Chibok happened, Dapchi never knew it was going to be their turn, but it did, it became their turn. Then we had Kankara abduction. Jengebe happened. Kagara has happened too. And it tells us one thing, that yesterday's victims were once survivors. Today's victims were yesterday's survivors, and tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. The question is, who is next? We do not know who will be next, because of course, when it happened to Jengebe parents, their children were taken away. The families of those students taken away in Kaduna never knew it was going to be their turn, and we don't know whose turn is going to be. Who is next? The victim card in Nigeria is going round, and we all must understand that we are all victims waiting to happen. When you say you pray, do you think the ones that it has happened to, they didn't pray? We are all victims waiting to happen, and the victim card is going round. It is mandatory that all of us stand tall and all of us make demands and ensure that those who have been taken away, we've always said that the Chibok girls abduction, the Chibok girls are a symbol of those that were taken away before and after them. So you and I, every one of us must stand up and make the demands. When we are making the demands, we're not just making the demands for them, we're making the demands for us so that we do not become the next victim. We are asking our government to do the needful. At this stage, I will call on every one of us. Let's get to our feet. Let's get to our feet. Let's stand up and make the demands the way we should and the way. We are making demand today, not because we are doing Chibok girls a favor. We are making demand because it's the right thing to do. The rescue of our Chibok girls is not a privilege. It's not a privilege for them to be rescued. It's their right as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so I renew the Bring Back Our Girls chance. And we stand today And we'll continue to fight. We'll continue to make demands. We will not stop, not until our girls are back and alive. And I say to you, what are we demanding?
Bring back our girls now and alive.
What are we asking?
The truth,
Nothing but the truth.
What do we want?
Our girls back.
Our girls back now and alive.
When would we stop?
Not until our girls are back.
Not until our girls are back and alive.
When would we stop?
Not
Not
without
without our daughters.
Who are we?
Chibokians.
Who are we?
Nigerians.
Where are we from?
Chibok.
Where are we from?
Nigeria.
What's our core values?
Humanity.
Humanity.
What are we fighting for?
The
Soul of Nigeria.
The fight for our Chibok girls is the fight for the soul of Nigeria
and the world.
And the world.
The fight for Aisha is the fight for the soul of Nigeria and the world.
And the world.
Mr. President.
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
Mr. President.
No more delay.
No more delay.
Mr. President.
Act now.
Mr. President. We want answers. Act now. We want answers.
We want
BBOG. We are not for
turning.
BBOG.
We are not
for turning.
BBOG.
We are not
for turning.
7 years too long. We need
no more
closure and disclosure, and no more excuses. Like we have said, we are not for turning. For 7 years, we haven't turned away, we haven't gone. In 2014, May 2014, we were told that we would not stay on this court. We were told, they said they should ignore us, that we will move away. But we have shown that we will not move away. We're standing on this. We will continue to make demands. Like I said earlier, we might not have carried Chibok girls in our rooms, or we carry them in our hearts. And no matter what they bring to us, no matter the attacks, no matter the insult, no matter what they throw at us, we'll stand still and we will not turn away. No more turning. We'll continue to make demands till we get the result that we want. Every one of our 112 Chibok girls in the captivity must be accounted for. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, June.
Thank you.